Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. A warm welcome to all of you to TEDxHKDI. We are thrilled to have you all here today for an unforgettable experience filled with inspiration, knowledge, and innovation. At the same time, thank you to the online audience for your participation. We are the MCs of today. I'm Jacqueline.
I'm Theseus.
I'm Rina.
And I'm Farah.
Today, we have a lineup of incredible speakers who will take you on a journey of ideas and insights and bring you all a unique perspective and expertise in their respective fields.
What's more, we have a diverse range of topics spanning from technologies to science to arts and culture. So there must be something for everyone here today.
And don't forget the power of connection. TEDxHKDI is not only about listening to fascinating talks, but also connecting with like-minded individuals, sharing ideas, and building a community of changemakers.
To kickstart the event, we would like to invite our principal, Dr. Ong, and vice principal, Mr. Keith Tam, to join us for a moment of conversation. Dr. Ong and Keith, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Dr. Ong and Keith. Hi. It's great to have you here with us. Are you two excited?
Oh, very much so, very much so.
Excited.
Can't wait to see all the amazing ideas and creativity that the speaker is going to present and share with us this afternoon.
How about you, Keith?
Yep, very excited. I've been a big fan of TED Talks for many years, and last year I had the opportunity of a lifetime to go to Vancouver, Canada, and I saw 80 plus, that's 80, talks live, actually, and it was really mind-blowing. So to bring HKDI, to bring TEDx to HKDI was a dream came true. So here we are at the really famous red carpet right now.
Yeah, that's the spirit. Dr. Ong, as the head of HKDI, would you please let us know more about the theme of TEDxHKDI?
Of course, this year we will focus on design, community, and well-being. We really want to explore how creativity can push the limits, challenge conventions, and also brings about change to our daily lives that associated to design and creativity.
Well, you're right. Thank you, Dr. Ong. How about you, Keith? As the chairperson of TEDxHKDI committee, how did you come up with this theme? Was there a particular rationale or inspiration behind it?
Great question. We at HKDI, we've been a hub of creative energy and innovation for many years, actually 15 years to be precise, almost. And I think, you know, we have a saying, actually, at HKDI. Every good design begins with a good story. So people is the most important thing in stories, right? So when we talk about people, we're talking about how design can improve people's health, well-being, and also we are social animals, right? So if we're social, community is no question is a big consideration in design.
It is amazing to see how TEDxHKDI is embracing creativity and encouraging people to think outside the box. Dr. Ong, what are you most looking forward to at this event?
Well, I look forward to the diversities of speakers and topics. Topic will include design, community, and also technology and social innovation. So it will cover a wide range of subject areas. So let's enjoy their stories.
Absolutely. I can't wait either. The TEDx stage always brings together a fascinating mix of people with unique perspectives. It's going to be a mind-expanding experience for sure.
And don't forget the connections we'll make. It is a chance to meet like-minded individuals, share ideas, and spark collaborations. Keith, do you have any thoughts about that?
Well, it's not just about the talks, right? The TED community, TEDx community is about building communities of innovators and change makers, as the MCs said earlier. So we really hope everybody can be inspired and can step out of their boundaries and really unleash their creativity. That's what we hope.
I believe we all will be inspired very soon. Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Ong and Keith.
Thank you very
Please
much.
have a seat
Enjoy the
and
show.
continue to enjoy the event. All right, let's get ready to be blown away by the incredible speakers and their boundary-breaking ideas. The TEDxHKDI is about to begin, so relax and get ready to be inspired. Hey, Theseus, do you have any dreams?
Yes, I have many dreams, but sometimes I wonder if I have too many.
Then you need to listen to our first inspiring speaker, Yannie Fung.
Sounds great. What's Yannie going to share with us?
Well, Yannie will share her story and tell us not to stop chasing our dream.
I can't wait to hear Yannie's story and to be motivated to chase my own dreams. Let's welcome Yannie.
Hi everyone, my name is Yannie, and at the grand old age of 27, I'm enjoying the student life here at Hong Kong Design Institute. So, why am I still studying at 27? Well, my first try was as a law student, not a successful one. And then I spent a few years working in a hospital. Now, here I am, studying design. Yeah, you heard that right. 3 areas in the space of 10 years. You might be thinking why I chose to be a designer instead of staying in law firms or hospitals. But why not aim for a future that truly excites me? Back in the day, I wasn't exactly a child genius. I didn't have any special skills to be proud of. Just your average girl navigating through life. After the HKDSE with no clear direction, I followed my parents' advice and became a law student. An area I soon realized was not for me. I had the cliched idea that it would be like the films and TV dramas we see, always dramatically shouting, "Objection, Your Honor." Well, the reality is another story. Law school means lots of legal jargon, studying past cases, and going through endless evidence. You need very good analytical skills. Let me tell you, reading through big case folders was no walk in the park. My highlighter had to be my best friend. But far into the legal maze, I saw a beacon of light, a branding design course. With all the different parts of design, I found my groove and aced every assignment. The teachers even gave me the occasional positive comment. The design course was a huge relief after the legal maze, and I loved every moment. Even with my new interest in design, I didn't take it further because I was concerned about money. I needed a job. And so along came my first career change. I started working in a hospital. Every day I had to see patients and do tons of paperwork. In a hospital, every second matters. which taught me important lessons in communication and efficiency. However, the stress and the idea that I couldn't see a future for myself in this setting was too much. It was clear to me that staying was not an option. I needed a change. I was feeling a bit low until one day a talk with a friend of mine led to a big turn in my life. She asked a simple question: what are you really good at? Well, reflecting on my past, doing well in the branding design course came to mind, not to mention how much fun it was. So I tried to picture myself working in design. Of course, I had some concerns. Being a student again at 25 was not a fun idea. And what would I do about money? But eventually, I came to the decision that I liked design enough to pursue it even with these concerns. And so along came my second career change. Going into design was like stepping into a new universe. Everything was so new. However, as time went by, I started to see the links between my previous experience and my newfound passion. I always thought design is just about fancy drawings. It's actually about problem solving and creativity. There's a reason for every new design, a problem you need to resolve. But I had a nice surprise. All the skills I developed studying law and working in the hospital are now very useful to me. My law degree gave me the analytical mind I need for research and user-friendly design. The communication skills I developed in the hospital are also very helpful because I need to communicate with teachers, clients, or users of the design. Getting to know their opinions and needs will of course help me to create good design. So, I started to see my past not as a bunch of mistakes, but as a unique foundation for a satisfying career in design. When I think about all the different steps that led to me studying design, it makes me consider the idea we have all heard of. Everything happens for a reason. And so maybe my law degree, then my job in the hospital, were just steps on this journey. I stand before you not in spite of my past, but because of it. The path to finding your passion may be long and difficult, but embrace the journey because it's yours alone to make. Thank you.
Jacqueline，下一次我们聚会去哪一家餐厅好呢？
诶，我最近有吃到一家挺不错的，就在学校附近，但是
什么啊？菜好吃就去吧。
菜是好吃，但是他们家的点餐 APP 实在是太难用了，不但是菜单混乱，还没有办法备注我的要求。上次我弄了10多分钟才下好单，比人工点单更没效率。
没错，所以今天的 speaker 张明熙同学将会带领我们进入一个有关 APP 的世界。他会告诉我们 APP 也有好坏之分。有时候啊 ，APP 的功能可能会让我们感到困惑， 但是有的时候它却能带给我们无尽的便利与惊喜哦。
我想大家都很期待张同学的演讲，能为我们带来一些关于 APP 的小秘密吧。
没错，那么现在就让他带领我们探索 APP 的奥妙吧。让我们以热烈的掌声欢迎张同学上台，有请。
其实，在演讲开始之前，我想先问大家2个问题。首先，我相信大家的手头上都应该至少有一台手机吧？那你们觉得里面的软件它重要吗？应该都会点点头，说：“哎，我还发现有没点头？什么情况？怎么不按套路出牌？”好吧，那我下一个问题也不按套路问了哈，我们要听清楚了。你们大家早上起床干的第一件事情是什么？是刷牙洗脸的，请举手。哎，不少哎。还是说有些人打算，比如说先吃个早餐、冲凉、上厕所的，请举手。但不好意思，其实2个答案都是错的。我们早上起床的第一刻，不应该是一脸不耐烦的床上摸来摸去吗？有些人可能想问：哎，在干嘛？那当然是在找那吵死人的手机闹钟啊，对不对？一大清早的吵死人呢，很过分。可能关掉闹钟以后，时间有多，有些人还会选择在床上刷个半小时的 TikTok 或者 Instagram 再来上学或者上班，对吧？其实我也深有同感。所以大家有没有发现，好像我们从早上起床的第一刻开始，我们就已经和软件打了交道了，但又没有去意识到它的存在。可能有些人心里面现在就会想：哎，不就是一个闹钟而已嘛，能有多神奇吗？但你们知道吗？这种微不足道的忽略或者忽视，其实它是会带来蝴蝶效应的耶。而我会在演讲的后半部分细说这个方面的问题和原因。那我现在我想重新回到我刚刚问大家的第一个问题，也就是软件它的重要性，又或者说它的普及性。其实，在我们社会这几十年的发展里面，我相信大家都应该有目共睹，软件它给我们生活带来哪一些改变和影响，对吧？虽然说软件它现在很重要，很普及，但你们知道吗？软件它也可以同时给我们生活带来痛苦的。当然了，我不知道大家心目中觉得最难用的软件是什么，或者说让你最生气的软件是什么。但你要是问我的话，我会立马联想到附近商场的一家连锁的云南米线餐厅，你们都知道是哪一家吧？我也不知道从什么时候开始，他们家餐厅开始要求我们顾客用2维码来点餐下单。当然，我并不是说2维码下单是一件不好的事情了，只是说有一个前提，它下单逻辑和它的下单软件必须要设计得好的话。正常来说，在我们扫完2维码以后，我们作为用户应该是期待立即看到他们家的菜单来供我们下单，对吧？但是他们的下单逻辑却挺奇葩的。扫完码以后，我才发现他竟然要求我去下载他们的软件。如果没有记错的话，他们那款软件好像大约有100 MB 左右的体积。可能平时大家使用 WiFi 的时候，不觉得100 MB 是有多大，但你有想过吗？你要是哪一天在使用手机移动出去下载呢？其实100 MB 要花蛮久的。而到底要花多久呢？一个有趣的问题，因为它完全取决于你当天的肚子有多饿了。而对于我来说，当天我正好是那一种饿到前胸贴后背的感觉，所以对于我来说，我更像是等了1年一样。但那还并不是最离谱的地方，在我下载完软件，我以为我就可以开始愉快的点餐。但我在进入软件的那一刻，我发现，我又想错我的心了。在进去的那一刻，我发现他竟然要求我先通过一连串的注册、验证手机号码、验证邮箱、登录、 才看到他们那比黄金还珍贵的菜单呢。说真的，不知道的人以为他们在设计一款保险箱，把他们菜单牢牢锁在里面一样，这就很反人类啊，有些时候。而最精彩的地方，其实它在后头。我在下完单以后，我才发现，等了10几分钟，完全没有动静。而到了最后，我才发现，原来他们的后厨系统没有收到我手机下的单，所以到了最后，还是得靠他们的服务员来手动帮我们点单。这种软件，你们觉得我还会再用第2次吗？肯定不会啊！我只是想简简单单吃一餐饭而已，怎么会有那么多烦人的事情啊？很折磨人呢。你别说让我用第2次，我只要用它1次，我说真就会记住它一辈子，化成灰我都会认得它。好吧，那现在我好像看下来吃米线吃的不顺利，那我坐车回家总行了吧？可是谁想得到，现在我连坐巴士也不让我省心呢？因为我每一次打开巴士软件，我都会有类似的感觉。广告实在太多了，而且很多时候广告还是那一种，你一不小心点到它，它会跳转你手机浏览器的。所以有好几次就是因为这样子，我错过了在我面前的公交车。因为我在上下滑动查询自己要坐的班车的时候，经常会误触到他们的广告。就在这样子和浏览器软件之间来来回回，浪费我好多时间。而在我好不容易找到我要坐的那辆车的时候，我才发现，刚刚走的那辆车好像是我坐的。但不好意思，你们的广告太多了，车已经开走了。所以经常我就心生怨言啊。我们好像每次坐车都已经付了车费了，为什么还在这么简单的软件里面交这么多的广告啊？没必要这么浪费大家的时间吧。那现在大家看我，衣食住行，食和行都不太通顺那我心想，要不去购物算了，我去买东西总行了吧？做一下消费者，消费掉我的霉运。那现在心动，那当然就不如行动啦！马上拿出我的手机，打开网购软件。作为一名资深吃货的我，用网购软件当然就是买自己想要吃的零食，所以我的手机上下的滑动。但是谁想得到，它却突然间可以推送一则广告我当时心想，我没有馋到要吃狗粮吧？再说我家也没有养狗狗所以现在我用网购软件，很多时候就发现一个问题，广告都不是其中一个了，而是很多时候他们给我推送的广告，其实和我正在浏览的商品是完全没有关系的我们作为一名消费者的，在用一款网购软件，不就是为了以更快、更方便的速度去找到自己想要的商品吗？而他们却倒好直接本末倒置，强行推送一些我们不喜欢也不要的商品，而阻碍我们的时间找自己想要的东西。所以很多时候我觉得很生气啊。而现在到了最后，我还想和大家分享一个我个人认为是软件界里面的远古化石，它的名字叫做 PPS 缴费铃。我们有没有人用过用过的举手？还不少你们有没有发现他们的界面特别难看我之所以称它为远古化石，是因为它的界面好像是从上世纪90年代开发以来完全没有更新过一样。你反观内地的支付宝，它的界面多简洁，又或者说 PayPal， 常用的功能它全部都摆在首页里面。比如说支付宝他们的乘车码，你进入首页，你只需要按一个按钮它就会立刻弹出乘车码界面，来方便你刷码入闸。这不就是我们作为用户所想要看到的事情吗？好看、方便又好用，对吧？其实类似的例子它还有好多我也不打算在这里和大家一一的去列举不过它核心，我相信现在应该大家都领会得到，也就是我们现在不再是偶尔去使用一下软件而已我们更像是和软件融为一体，它成为我们生活中的一部分。无论是生活、工作还是学习，我相信在座的各位应该没有人可以说 他可以完全离开软件它的帮助吧。也正是因为这样子，我们和软件之间的交互，其实现在值得被重视嘞。换句话说，软件的设计在这个年代它至关重要。一款设计的不好的软件，它不仅浪费我们大量的时间去学习如何使用它，而且还会因为它糟糕的设计，而导致影响我们整天的好心情。你们知道吗？而到了现在，我不知道大家有没有好奇过另外一个问题，就是一些软件，它明明就这么的难用，但它为什么还能存在这么久啊？理论上来说，难用的软件不应该很快就被淘汰掉了吗？而要回答这个问题，我则需要重新提一下我开头问大家的2个问题：软件它重要吗？和大家早上起床干的第一件事情是什么？为什么呢？因为这2个问题的回答实在是太奇怪了。就是人们怎么会一边很下意识的去点头认为，软件它很重要啊，又在一边很不经意的去忽视软件它存在的事实。就是每当我问大家软件它重不重要的时候，大家都会点点头，但却很少去思考过软件它给我们生活带来哪一些的改变和影响。大家可以稍微想象一下，假如哪一天要是我们离开了我们手机上的一些社交媒体应用，我们将以何种方式和别人进行沟通和联络呢？是以比如说原始的写信、打电话，要不再夸张一点，飞鸽传书，去和别人进行沟通。又或者说比如要是大家离开了一些网购软件，我们将以何种方式去购物呢？可能在香港住的大家没有这方面太大的担忧，但你反观内地，其实网购的现象比香港要严重的多了。要是真的离开了这一类软件，我相信很多人应该会在很大程度上的鬼哭狼嚎吧，因为他们意识到，他们突然间要回到最原始的那种生活方式，而不再享有类似之前淘宝一样的便利。你仅仅只需要按一个按钮，就会有人把你的货送到门前，甚至可以有人上你的门前取货、帮你换货等等的服务，多方便啊！所以你们想回到之前那个年代吗？想的举手。鸦雀无声。当然不想啦，其实也回不去了。用美国女诗人狄金森的话来说，则是我们本可以接受黑暗，如果从来没有见过光明的话了。所以到现在，对于我刚刚问大家的那个问题，为什么难用的软件它会存在？现在答案应该很简单明了了吧？归根到底，还是因为作为使用者的我们，不够重视软件它的质量而已啦。可能到现在有些人心里就会想，我就是一名普通的软件使用者而已啊，我能有什么东西可以干的吗？大家可千万不要小瞧作为软件使用者这个角色，因为作为软件使用者的我们是拥有一项特权的，它叫做投诉。以更好听的方式来说，则是意见反馈。一个问题它被反馈的足够多的时候，其实开发商想不重视它都很难。所以我真的很希望大家能够珍惜每一次的机会，或者说途径，去反馈自己的意见。无论是通过软件商城的评分也好，又或者说是社交媒体的留言也罢，其实他们真的都很有用的。正所谓的众人拾柴火焰高的原理嘛。再说了，真的有心改善自己软件的开发商，其实他们也会很乐意看到我们作为用户提的意见的啦。也就是那一句商业名言：“顾客是上帝来的，他们怎么敢不去重视啊？”相反，要是大家都守口如瓶，把自己的意见当成秘密一样藏在心底，可能开发商就会心想：现在怎样？用户都不关心我们软件质量了吗？那我现在去改善自己的软件，会不会显得我脑袋很秀逗？我轻轻松松挣大钱不好吗？而到了最后，就会有越来越多的人遇到类似我刚刚和大家分享的一些痛苦的例子。 当然，我也知道很多人并不是说故意的去忽视软件它的存在，因为在提到软件的时候，我相信有很多人，当然也包括曾经的我，都会有一种既熟悉又陌生的感觉。你说它熟悉，是因为它好像无处不在的事实，从我们吃饭用到的点餐软件，到我们哪一天可能生病要去医院用到了一些预约系统等等，你会发现它都是软件而我之所以说它陌生，是因为它的本质，它永远都是虚拟化的存在，甚至在电脑屏幕发明之前，它还看不见摸不着而对于看不见摸不着的东西进行忽略，其实我觉得再正常不过了，对吧？人之常情嘛。但值得一提的是，这种短期的忽略可能没有什么大不了的，但长期放任软件的质量不管，我们就好像是在给开发商释放一个错误的讯号，告诉着他们，我们从今天开始不再重视软件它的质量，你们可以随意开发了。而到了最后，我们这种行为就好像是在搬石头砸自己脚一样，最终受苦受累还是作为软件使用者的我们。其实大家知道吗？很多时候，我们作为用户和开发商的他的关系，更像是一种互动的关系，所以大家真的没有必要长期的去忍受或者被动的接受软件它的质量。而当遇到一些自己觉得很难用，又或者说完全学不会如何去使用的软件的时候，其实也没有必要感到自责。因为一款软件它的设计，就是它的初衷就是为了确保我们作为用户不会遇到类似的困扰。所以我相信，只要大家坚持对低质量软件的唾弃和对高质量软件的无限追求，我们在不久的将来就会有一个更加完美且完善的软件世界。谢谢大家。
We've got another amazing speaker lined up for you, Phoebe.
What? Phoebe? Phoebe, wait, the name Phoebe is quite familiar to me. Is she from Language Center?
Yes, you're so smart. Phoebe is a special speaker to us. She is not a student, but she is still one of our campus members. She comes from British Council and now staying at Language Center of our campus as a language assistant. Today, she's got an incredible story to share.
Wow, that's really interesting. I know she has brought a lot of language assistants of other campuses here. Can we have some noise? Hello! What's more, it's our honor to have a representative from British Council with us today to support Phoebe together and be part of TEDxHKDI. Welcome to our campus.
So, are you all ready to go on a culture adventure with Phoebe?
Let's give her a big and warm welcome to take the stage. Bye.
Have you ever felt like you're living multiple different lives or versions of yourself? Well, our identity is complex, pieced together through our experience, social interactions, and perception of ourselves within different communities. But we're going to start with a bit of Hong Kong geography. So can you raise your hands if you live in Tsing? Yeah, I know you all because you all live with me. Can you raise your hands if you've never been to Tsing? Okay, a few. And raise your hands if you've attended the Happy Valley Racecourse event. Again, we go every week. So, it's 19 kilometers or a 23-minute drive via Route 3 from Tsing Halls of Residence to Happy Valley Racecourse, where I've spent a few Wednesday evenings. Why is this relevant, you ask? Well, these two contrasting communities represent how Hong Kong has challenged my sense of identity in surprising ways. So let us consider identity and how different communities can coexist, even if we're left confused at points. So those that know me know it's no surprise that I love to journal and look back and reflect on nostalgic memories. So as it approaches my final week here at HKDI, seems like the perfect opportunity to look back at the past 10 months and how Hong Kong has challenged my sense of identity in some surprising ways. So, I'm Phoebe. I'm an English language assistant here at HKDI. I'm from the fairly unremarkable South London borough of Sutton, and I went to school in the Surrey suburb of Epsom, and I graduated from Leeds University last year. I lived in a bit of a bubble, lots of parties, around people very similar to me, trips home to London to see my family, and European city breaks with friends I'd previously met on my year abroad in Germany. I'd never been to Asia, but I was keen to experience a whole new culture, though I had no idea what this would look like. And it was May last year when I was sat in Leeds University Library, stressing over my 12,000-word dissertation on refugee integration in Leeds, when I received an email from the British Council. You have a place confirmed at HKDI. Well, I was thrilled and proceeded to text my mum, BTW, moving to Hong Kong in August. Yeah, I don't think she was initially best pleased, and her words were, Phoebe, you should come home, get a job, and stop feeling the need to roam. Anyway, that didn't work out, because on August the 15th, I arrived in Hong Kong, luggageless, in a full-fleeced black tracksuit in Hong Kong's August. Yeah, that was just the beginning. So although I've always considered myself someone confident and outgoing, I'm comfortable with change and meeting new people, trying new things, I've never really taken the time to consider what defines my personal identity. But Hong Kong has taught me so much about myself, and even more so, how international opportunities have shaped my sense of self. But time is short, so I'm going to give you a debrief on how the first couple of months went. First things first, WAM buildings everywhere. Secondly, shortly after the WAM buildings, I'm ashamed to say that Pret-a-Manger and M&S caught my eye as home comforts. Before, the lovely welcoming staff at HKDI introduced me to my first Hong Kong dining experience, and we laughed about my inability to pick up chicken feet with chopsticks. And then there were the animals, exotic animals everywhere, like monkey and buffalo and bugs that loved biting me, because we ended up in A&E because I got a bite sting that made my face very swollen. And then the extreme weather, Typhoon 1, Typhoon 2, and black rain in our first month. And I think we all got used to a 4-day working week. And then the transport. Transport for London could never. And the 16th of every month became my favorite day, Octopus Subsidy Day. So, despite a few ups and downs, I never really experienced culture shock as one might expect. I was welcomed by staff at HKDI in a British Council bubble and took everything else in my stride. It wasn't really until around mid-October when I really started to consider how adapting to Hong Kong life was impacting my personal identity. So I went to school in Epsom. Now, Epsom is home to the Epsom Racecourse and famous annual Derby Day event. I mention this because on October 20th, I decided to try out this Happy Valley Racecourse event. Now, despite being nearly 6,000 miles away from home, I stepped into a community that felt remarkably similar to the crowd at the Epsom Derby, and I was introduced to a whole new community of people, a bubble of expats. Now, after countless conversations that resembled London life, like finance and bars in Soho and travel stories, I left a few faces in shock when I said I would go the 19 kilometers, taking the 948 back to Tsing Yi. Since this point, I've been navigating where I fit in between communities, but mainly how to make the most out of my time living in this fantastic city. So, whilst I've clung on to many aspects of my British culture and the comforts of expat life, I've also embraced elements of Hong Kong culture, and I've learned a lot from Cantonese culture, an impressive work ethic, but equally balanced approach to work and play. In this dense urban environment, people use their time and space efficiently, prioritizing exercise and health, and ultimately maximizing enjoy in life. In a conversation with a colleague here at HKDI, we were discussing similarities between Londoners and Hong Kongers. Any guesses? Well, we all like to complain, and this is true, but we challenged this stereotype, and after a longer conversation, we realized that this means people have passion and resilience. Despite heads bobbing on the MTR or necks reaching into mobile phone screens, there's an overriding sense of optimism. And living in Hong Kong has taught me to be ambitious, to continue learning, and to hold myself accountable in many ways. Equally, Hong Kong embraces an amazing international community, which adds another layer to this city's complexity. I've really learnt so much to be adaptable and open-minded to new cultures and ideas, and I hope as I speak with you today, you can think about how your unique set of experiences has shaped your sense of self. So, I now feel comfortable with the customs and the systems in Hong Kong. How many of you got to the front of the bus line, you've realized you've queued for 15 minutes for the wrong bus? It's always awkward and you have to go to the back. But I've mastered the 42A bus line from Mong Kok to Tsing Yi. And I know what I'm doing in the welcome in Mayfair Gardens, Tsing Yi, and in the classrooms here at HKDI. And also with the net teachers, European exchange students, and finance bros at Happy Valley. But whilst culture and identity are closely related, they are not the same thing. And when we examine the works of the Frankfurt School, we realize that when you define yourself in relation to the cultural other, your sense of self becomes blurred or maybe redefined. So for me, adapting to elements of Hong Kong culture has had a real impact on my personal identity. Now, this next section I like to call the emerging me. And after a period of reflection, I've defined my time here in Hong Kong as one of identity fluidity, where due to a mix of different cultural communities, my sense of self has become redefined and strengthened. And I can categorize this in three main aspects. First things first, to my surprise, integrating in Hong Kong life was not a stark cultural change, but rather a gradual process of listening, learning, and sharing. There's many times in Tsing Yi where I might feel out of place or stared at, but I found once comfortably integrated in the systems, people didn't really pay too much notice. Equally, I've learned to stay open-minded. I came to Hong Kong thinking that, similar to Londoners, Hong Kongers were busy and focused on their own lives. But small interactions have been really meaningful for my integration. For instance, just last week, I was doing my 1 hour 15 commute to work, and I had my AirPods in and my phone out, and I hadn't looked up since 8 a.m., just like all the other commuters, when I was coming up the escalators on the MTR. And I looked up, a businessman looked straight at me, quite alarmed when he realized he was walking the wrong way down the escalator because he was too much on his phone. And we both just had a moment where we just laughed at each other at 8:30 in the morning. And moments like these remind me not to judge people's exteriors and stay open-minded. Equally, I found people in Hong Kong to be very comfortable sharing their experiences and stories. There were a couple of Sundays in Central in September where I was surprised to see the number of people singing karaoke in cardboard boxes. But after speaking to a local friend, I discovered that these were domestic workers on their day off. This encouraged me to join voluntary groups, such as Impact HK and Help for Domestic Workers, which has introduced me to a whole new community of welcoming and kind people. And I'm grateful to have this experience across social groups. The second aspect to my emerging identity then is HKDI. As we're in this wonderful building, this place I can only describe as a bridge between communities. I've been overwhelmed by the generosity of staff here and feel like our experience as ELAs to be a true cultural exchange. Not only have students supported me through my poor attempt at learning Cantonese, but they've greatly enhanced my confidence and ability to immerse myself in new communities. Whilst I cannot lie, I have been surprised by differences in academic expectations or classroom etiquette and the number of students that say they need to sleep all weekend. But I've welcomed changes and hope we've played a small part in promoting well-being here at HKDI. It's really the students' enthusiasm and confidence that gives me the ability to go and find myself on solo, student-inspired adventures around Hong Kong, including a Cantonese spoken dance class in TSD, where I have no idea what's going on, or nail shop recommendations in Bangkok, where I feel equally as overwhelmed. I think something that epitomizes the students' persuasive abilities is that I came to Hong Kong thinking that I'd follow the traditional British backpacker route and find myself in Thailand. But after hearing the students' enthusiasm for places like Japan and Taiwan and South Korea, I now found myself open-minded to a whole new array of international opportunities elsewhere. And then finally, the third aspect to my emerging identity is the local versus expat experience. Now, living in Tsing, I feel that we have a unique experience, differing from many expats who don't venture far from the island. In fact, there's been times where I've gotten used to the question, why do you not live on the island? Or do you not want to live on the island? To which I usually respond, yeah, it's going to help my commute. But no, I'm grateful to experience all these communities that people living here for years haven't had the chance to experience. But I've had to stay open-minded. Hong Kong really is a place that encourages identity coexistence. Even without leaving your own city, you can experience so many environments. I mean, where else can you hike, shop, get lost in shopping malls and go to dance classes in TST and drink overpriced coffee and drink champagne in sophisticated art galleries where I definitely don't belong? Hong Kong has taught me to be completely adaptable, empathetic, and truly given me a richer sense of the world. Equally, I've become aware of the power we have to present ourselves in a certain way, and I resonate with the sociologist Goffman that argues within social interactions, we play a part to play, like actors on a stage, a performative role. Goffman says that when an individual plays a part, he implicitly requests his observers to take seriously the impression that is fostered before them. And my time in Hong Kong and experience within different communities really resonates with this argument that our identity is not prefixed or pre-existing, but it's something that's learned and transmitted through various social interactions. But equally, as humans, we're so adaptable to new environments, and I encourage you all today to go outside of your comfort zone. So, as time's coming to an end, mainly I feel so grateful for a wonderful year and for experiencing such a diverse array of communities. To my surprise, integrating Hong Kong life has been surprisingly smooth, but it's taught me so much about myself, and that really we're not so different after all. So the 19 kilometers for me between Tsing and Happy Valley is not just representative of a stark cultural change, but rather just two environments that have contributed to my emerging identity. I encourage you all here today to listen and learn from others, challenge assumptions, stay open-minded, and seek discomfort, because you never know what you might learn. I don't know what I'm doing next. Hopefully someone gets me a job. But I hope that I will turn to my own community in Sutton and that I can continue this exchange beyond this year and listen and learn from others. Thank you very much.
多謝 Phoebe 嘅分享。TEDx 而家要為大家介紹下一位 speaker。Kiko 將會打破我哋嘅觀念，挑戰我哋嘅觀念，打破傳統嘅刻板印象。
噔噔噔噔，我變，我變，我變變變。
喂喂喂 ，Farah， 你度做咩啊？你唔係撞邪啊？
唔係，係因為我嚟緊好忙，又要返學，又要返 part time。咁如果我可以變多幾個我就好啦。
嗱，咁你就要留意陣間 Kiko 嘅分享啦。佢會同我哋分享佢嘅個人故事，而當中亦都有大家可能似曾相識嘅畫面。另外，我聽講原來 Kiko 佢有個神秘嘅身份要同大家分享㗎。大家準備好未呢？
耶！梗係準備好啦！等我哋一齊同 Kiko 探索呢個充滿驚喜同無限可能嘅世界啦！有請 Kiko。
Hello， 大家好啊！我想問下在場知唔知道踢毽係咩嚟㗎？有冇人係有試過踢毽㗎？舉個手嚟睇下。哇！我見到好多人有踢過喎。咁而家呢，我就想揾位觀眾上台陪我去喐動下。見大家都咁攰啦，係咪？哇！好主動啊嗰邊。左邊呢邊白色衫嘅哥哥，你可唔可以上台啊？係 ，Hello 你好啊，你好，點稱呼啊？家俊。哦，家俊，好，家俊啊，啱啱見你好踴躍啦，舉得，你可唔可以示範下俾大家睇？你之前踢毽係點樣踢㗎？呢度試下先。第一次玩，好啊。嗱，呢度有隻毽。哇！第一次玩到。哇！你係咪踢開㗎？哇！咁大家啱啱都睇咗家俊嘅示範啦。咁而家我就想俾大家去睇一睇，其實我自己都有另一種嘅踢毽嘅方式㗎喎。咁而家想請家俊幫我一個忙先，你可唔可以喺我面前拋高隻毽俾我？好簡單嘅啫。嗱，我數3聲啊，1、2、3。多謝，唔該晒，家俊，你可以喺台下面度休息下先。唉，好緊張啊！勁唔勁啊，大家？多謝。咁呢，其實我係一個足毽運動員嚟嘅，成日都會去唔同嘅地方做比賽或者 training。啱嗰種由上而下將隻毽踩落嚟嘅踢毽方式，可能同大家諗嘅有少少出入。大家對踢毽嘅印象，可能同啱啱家俊示範嘅差唔多，都係拎起隻毽，用隻腳踢下，數住1、2、3、4。又或者係見到樓下公園嗰啲公公婆婆，好中意3、5成群咁樣圍埋一齊，將隻毽踢嚟踢去，倒掛金鈎啊嗰啲，大家都見得唔少啦。呢啲呢，就叫做圍毽。但都唔好睇小佢哋喎，高手在民間啊嘛。咁你哋可能都會有少少好奇，點解我會無啦啦接觸呢個咁小眾嘅運動嘅？明明踢毽係舊年代產物嚟嘅喎，點解我唔打下籃球、游下水咁樣就算啦？好大嘅原因係因為我覺得夠晒有型，夠晒特別咯。呢個就要講翻起我第一次接觸到踢毽嘅時候啦。嗰陣嘅我仲係個小學雞嚟嘅咋 ，P 阿 Sir 無啦帶咗我哋去羽毛球場嗰度，但就拎咗隻好似羽毛球嘅物體出嚟，叫我哋用腳去踢過網喎。我心諗咁奇怪嘅，學校冇錢到咁，連羽毛球拍都買唔起啊！但當時嘅我梗係冇諗咁多啦，就乖乖地聽阿 Sir 講，一嘢將個波踢咗過網先咯。點知？當全世界都好似手腳唔協調嘅時候，得我一個成功將隻毽踢到過去喎！哇，係咪好型先？我嗰下覺得自己係全世界最 pro 嗰個啊！就係咁樣，我由嗰陣時候開始就知道，原來踢毽已經演變到唔係淨係得啲公公婆婆先會玩嘅小玩意，原來而家已經係一種好專業嘅競技比賽嚟。呢啲呢就叫做網毽，顧名思義呢就係有個網喺中間嘅。而場地就係用翻羽毛球場，但打法又會好似排球咁樣嘅喎。我哋一樣都係要成班人一齊打對賽，有 setter 有主攻手，要做 set 波、殺波、攔網之類嘅。 你諗下喎，一隻你哋不嬲都以為只係齋用腳踢住數幾多下嘅毽，原來係可以好似排球咁樣殺波嘅喎。而我啱啱嗰種嘅示範，其實就係其中一種嘅進攻方式，齋睇都覺得夠晒型、夠晒特別啦，係咪？就係咁樣，我就由小學校隊踢到去青年隊，再踢到去代表隊，成為咗大家口中所講嘅踢毽妹啦。聽落好似都好好動我可，但其實運動員只係我其中一個嘅身份，一個人又點會淨係得一面咁簡單啊？我除咗係一個運動員之外，同時我都可以係一個好安靜、好鍾意畫畫嘅學生嚟。而家就喺 HKDI 入邊讀緊插畫設計，但其實要同時兼顧住兩個身份，係比我想象中難好多㗎。所以我喺呢段時間一直都有諗過想放棄做運動員，又或者係放棄讀設計嘅。我第一次接觸 design 功課嘅時候呢，sorry， 講返我細個嘅興趣先。其實呢，識開我嘅人呢都會好好奇，點解我會走咗去做運動員嘅？明明細個嘅我係個好中意拿住支筆周圍畫嘅人嚟嘅喎，屋企啲牆啊、台凳凳啊，全部都係花晒㗎，好靚嗰啲傑作，到而家都唔捨得抹走佢㗎。但係咁樣都未夠癲喎，我連出街都好中意畫畫嘅。細個跟住公公婆婆去茶樓飲茶嘅時候，台面嗰啲紅色、綠色嘅點心紙啊，我都要係咁喺上面畫畫㗎。佢哋拎住嗰支鉛筆喺度點緊餐嘅時候，我就要偷隔離台嗰支鉛筆繼續喺上面畫畫。到返中小學嘅時候就更加唔使講啦。哇，嗰本數學書啊，每一個角落都係佈滿住我阿 Sir 嘅五官輪廓㗎。你問我數學題點樣做，我可能未必答到你。但你問返我阿 Sir 個樣生成點，我諗我到而家都可以眯埋眼咁樣畫返俾你睇嘅。嗱，唔好話我教壞人，正常上堂都係應該要聽書好啲嘅。不過而家諗返嗰段時期，應該係我畫畫入邊過得最開心、最快樂嘅時光，因為我真係冇壓力㗎，就係我想點就點，我中意畫咩就畫咩。所以我啱啱入到嚟 HKDI 讀設計嘅時候，係真係覺得好唔適應嘅。明明係寫住讀插畫㗎嘛，乜唔係就係學畫畫嘅咩？身邊都會聽到唔少同學會話：唉，好似俾人呃咗入嚟讀呢科咁樣嘅。咪就係咯，我發現咗原來畫畫我係會俾人 ban 我㗎喎。幅畫明明我畫㗎嘛，做咩要 ban 我啊？而呢個可能就係讀設計同插畫嘅分別。設計唔係齋畫畫，唔係得個靚字就夠㗎，而係要配合你嘅創作思維，令你設計出嚟嘅嘢變得更加有意義或者有功能性。而我喺學習呢一堆嘢嘅過程入邊，我其實都會不斷係咁浮現咗想放棄嘅呢個念頭。但慢慢我又會發現，原來自己喺好多時候都會不知不覺間融入咗一啲做運動員嘅特質或者係精神，同時慢慢領悟到讀設計係乜嘢一回事。咁講返我第一次接觸 design 功課嘅時候啦，嗰陣嘅我以為畫畫好簡單㗎咋，咪就係好簡單咁樣畫幅畫咯，有幾難啫？點知我第一份功課就已經畫到凌晨3、4點啦，唔知發生咩事㗎。但畢竟我都已經擺咗咁多時間、咁多心機落去喺幅畫度啦，理應個分都唔會差得去邊啫。但我萬萬都估唔到，我第二日返到學校，個 Miss 居然係揦住我份嘢喺度問我：你呢個位點解要咁樣畫啊？你畫呢個圓形嘅意義係乜嘢啊？你畫呢個紅色又想代表啲咩先？哇，大佬啊， A3 size 嘅紙嚟嘅啫喎，我都已經畫到咁有心機啦，做咩仲要係咁問我意義係乜嘢？乜我畫畫之前一定要分析咁多嘢嘅咩？所以我一開始都會覺得好不解嘅，但慢慢我又會諗返起，其實我喺踢毽嘅時候，好似都會成日俾教練話我：你咁樣行係唔啱㗎，你隻腳遞高啲啦，你咁樣 set 個波出嚟係唔會踢得好㗎。就係咁樣，其實好多時候你哋都以為做嘅嘢已經做得夠好啦，但事實上你技術未夠好，水平唔夠人哋高。好多時都係因為一啲好細微嘅位，你做得唔夠細緻。 所以其實你要學識去接受自己嘅不足之處，你知道邊度錯，你就應該要去改。你可以吸取多啲唔同人嘅意見，咁樣你嘅技術先有機會進步，有機會提升㗎嘛。正正就係因為我喺踢演入邊得到呢啲嘅經驗，令我好快就明白咗，其實讀設計同樣都係要接受批評而去改進自己嘅。喺班上面成日都會聽到啲同學話：唉，又 ban 我唔改啦，想 ban 我到幾時啊？但咁啱就係因為我有做運動員嘅經驗，令我好快就適應咗，其實讀設計做功課嘅過程係會不斷俾啲 tutor ban 嘅。冇錯，我會話俾人 ban 只係一個過程，而唔係一個結果。而一個好嘅結果當中，其實就會伴隨住不斷嘅修改、不斷嘅調節。運動員嘅身份令我好快就明白咗，其實做嘢冇可能會一步登天嘅呢個事實，過程先係成長嘅關鍵。我諗呢啲嘢大家都聽到好厭㗎啦，係好娘㗎啦。不過我都好希望大家唔好因為遇到少少嘅挫折或者係樽頸位就咁容易俾人擊敗，而放棄咗自己一直努力緊嘅事。講到唔放棄，其實叫大家一直去堅持做任何一樣嘢都唔係咁簡單㗎。所以我喺呢2年入邊都不斷係咁諗放棄呢2個字。啱啱都有提過啦，我喺入到嚟讀 DI 嘅時候係真係覺得好唔適應㗎。我喺讀書嘅同時要兼顧住我穩定嘅固定嘅踢演訓練。我一返到學校係咁俾我 Miss ban 我嘅作品，放咗學之後又要即刻趕去練波，個動作做極都唔啱，係咁俾教練鬧我你技術唔夠高。練完波返到屋企已經凌晨1、2點鐘啦，我都仲未有得唞㗎，仲要繼續趕返第2日嘅 assignment， 係咁取我嘅 project。嗰段時間真係覺得好辛苦，好似跌咗入漩渦入邊咁樣㗎。而大家都好清楚啦，其實我哋學校係好注重 attendance 㗎，更加冇得話走堂就走堂啦。但我哋演隊又成日都要有固定嘅訓練，又冇得成日請假喎，甚至仲要成日出去唔同嘅地方比賽或者 training。我連搭飛機嘅時間都冇得唞㗎，見住啲隊友可以他條咁樣喺飛機上面睇電影、瞓下覺、食下嘢，我就要喺佢哋隔離嗰度係咁拎住部 iPad， 係咁畫畫，係咁畫畫。所以其實我嗰陣時候不斷喺度諗，不如我就放棄呢2樣嘢啦。反正我踢演定係我畫畫都唔係一啲特別出眾、唔係特別顯眼嘅興趣嚟啫嘛。講真，我讀呢5個 Sam 好搞笑，我每一個 Sam 都會話我想 quit 㗎，我唔想讀啦，我都捱唔住啦。而喺踢演入邊都係一樣，我技術又唔係特別好，又唔係特別出眾嘅人，兩邊都取住自己做咩啫？但我慢慢諗翻，原來我係會好唔甘心㗎。做運動員開始種下嘅根基，令我發現原來我係會好唔服輸，我好想贏啊！我打每一個比賽，我都好想有好好嘅表現，我想做到最好，好想證明俾我嘅隊友同埋我嘅教練睇，其實我唔係做唔到㗎。而喺我喺學校畫嘅畫，我都好想每一份作品、每一幅畫都畫到最好，做到最靚。我好想拎 A 爆4啊！既然我已經努力咗咁耐啦，點解我要做到一半先嚟認輸啊？咁樣我真係會好唔甘心、好唔抵得㗎。再諗翻，其實有陣時啲嘢未必係我諗到咁負面嘅呢。訓練緊嗰陣時候，同隊友一齊俾教練喺度鬧，一齊要罰做體能，我哋咪偷偷地喺隔離嗰度邊做體能邊講教練壞話咯。到夜晚搶功課嘅時候，同同學一路傾住電話，一路又喺度搶功課，又喺度呻，唉，讀書真係好辛苦啊！但當中都係有講有笑㗎。唔單止係咁樣喎，我喺比賽嘅時候諗翻嗰一種終於贏到對方嘅嗰種感受，尤其是對方係水平高過自己好多嘅時候，全世界都好似睇死自己做唔到，但我偏偏就要同我嘅隊友一齊捱過，一齊努力，終於贏過對手嘅嗰種興奮同埋感動，而家可能真係好難形容得出。而我喺學校畫嘅設計，終於受到大家嘅賞識，受到老師嘅認可，我終於有翻少少嘅成就啦。 其實呢啲種種嘅大小事同埋成就感，都已經令我一直去堅持呢兩樣嘢唔肯放棄嘅動力啦。所以我身邊啲人成日都會問我，其實你堅持做呢啲嘢有咩為啫？但我好清楚知道，其實踢演同埋讀設計嘅呢兩條路上面，係令我成長咗好多好多。我更加清楚知道有咩係值得我去堅持繼續做落去。呢兩樣嘢睇落好似一動一靜，毫無拉楞咁樣，但事實上對我嚟講，呢兩個身份、呢兩個角色，好似係互相扶持、互相補足咁，去成就咗而家嘅我。雖然我要平衡呢兩個身份，我的確係日辛苦到想嘔啊！成日都怨自己做咩要咁堅持，但內心又會好矛盾，好唔想就咁完喎。所以我都已經堅持咗咁耐，點解我唔繼續試落去？呢兩個身份嘅補足，令我明白到，其實只要我肯捱過，我得到嘅嘢係會比我諗到嘅更加多。即使我喺學校定係喺演隊，都唔係一啲最勁最把炮嘅人，但至少我覺得我冇因為放棄而學到嘅嘢，得到某部分人嘅欣賞同埋支持。其實呢啲嘢已經係好值得我一直去堅持做落去啦。多謝咁多位。
Our next speaker, Miss Eliana Xie, is an external speaker. She is a student of French International School.
It sounds interesting and special.
True. Eliana is a very active student. When we announced TEDx event on website in November last year, she immediately sent an email to our Vice Principal Keith to show her interest and passion to be one of the speakers of TEDxHKDI.
Wow, I also heard that she took an active role raising funds for community projects to school and NGO.
It's really amazing. I know her friends and teacher of French International School are here today to support her. Where are you? Oh, hello! Not only this, today is our honor to have Miss Pauline Hall, Eliana's guidance counselor, Mr. David Hammond, and Mr. Justin Torrance, head of IBDP Core of French International School. They're here to share memorable time with Eliana. Welcome to HKDI.
Eliana will share with us a global outlook and belief in the power of youth to drive change in a sustainable urban development. I can't wait to hear her ideas for a greener future.
Yes, let's give Eliana a warm applause.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'd like to draw your attention to one of the most important topics which reshapes the landscape through architecture and design in one of the world's most vibrant cities, Hong Kong. We'll delve into its sustainability aspects with a youth perspective in the context of Hong Kong's skyscrapers. To start off, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Eliana. I am a current Year 12 IB student at the French International School of Hong Kong. My interest in architecture stemmed from a very young age. I lived in several of the world's most populated cities. I was basically raised in concrete jungles. Many of my friends or people that know me might also describe me as the Minecraft and Legos connoisseur, as I'm also very interested in perfecting these creative endeavors. Well, to start off today's talk today, I'd like to fire off a quick warm-up question for you all. How much carbon dioxide do you think an average building of around, let's say, 30 to 40 floors will emit per year? Now listen carefully, I'll provide 4 different options. Well, option A, it is 100 tons. Option B, 200 tons. Option C, 450 tons. Or option D, doubling up, 900 tons. Raise your hand if you think it is option A, 100 tons. Right? 2 hands shown on the right-hand side. Raise your hand if you think it is 200 tons. All right, no hands shown. Okay. How about option C, 450 tons? All right, more hands shown from the middle. Well, the biggest bet of all, option D, 900 tons. Do any of the people agree here? Okay, the majority of the audience today, well, unfortunately, I have to apologize in advance, it's actually 120,000 tons. Well, it might sound like a large number. Well, it is. Imagine all of us taking 170,000 trips to Bangkok, Thailand. I'm sure it would be a lot of fun for us. However, I'm assuming that some of you might get bored by the last few trips. Well, how does this really impact us? Well, Hong Kong's electricity, almost 70% of it is for skyscrapers and infrastructure, whether it is commercial or residential. So what have people done to mitigate the situation? Well, in 1996, the Hong Kong government has proposed a green energy building or green plan scheme for a series of skyscrapers and developers to undergo this assessment, and they can be only put under construction when they meet each of these criteria. A spectacular example I'd like to show you all behind me is the zero carbon building. It is fully driven on solar energy. As you can see, there are hundreds of solar panels on the rooftops. They also have a restaurant inside where all the foods comes from local produce. Many environmentalists and ecologists may agree with me that the closer your food source is, the less carbon dioxide emissions it will have. However, it might be really hard for students or young youth members, people like me, to have a grand scheme such as this. But how can we make a difference? As we know, achieving sustainability goals is a collective effort. And even if young students and youth members like myself, we can take small steps at a time. And when it builds up, it is a long stride, big step forward. Now, I'd like to showcase 2 other examples. So behind me are 2 botanical garden and indoor farming projects. On your right-hand side, it is the Polytechnic University situated in Hong Kong, where they first founded the first ever botanical garden student-led project in Hong Kong. At first, they only had 3 members because they'll have to put effort, devotion, and also some training to put into work where they can have local produce. Let's imagine this: a student going off to their own botanical garden projects and plucking a few tomatoes or spices and adding to their lunches. I've also interviewed a few students myself, and they've claimed that it's been highly fulfilling to see your own plantations grow. Now, the organization has more than 200 members, and they offer intensive training courses during term breaks and holidays. So then, more students can learn about botanical gardens and eventually have their own plantations and see them grow. On the right-hand side for you, my left-hand side, is the collaborative project between MIT and the University of Delft. So they've used houseboats in Amsterdam, as we know, the floating city. They reused their materials and built a brand new botanical garden for their personal universities. The 2 projects behind me have reduced electricity output and carbon emissions down by 90%. And some have claimed that those 10 extra % are for its in-campus electricity usage. So imagine students in Hong Kong across international schools gather together, and we start a project of our own on top of skyscrapers where there will be natural lighting. So then we can reduce the electricity usage by another 8 to 9%, which only uses 1% of the original electricity output for a botanical garden. It might all sound a bit technical, but let's just imagine 3 major factors: low labor fees, lots of volunteers, and people with a passion. So I myself started a student initiative with a few of my friends in 2020 called Arcturine. It's basically architecture plus tangerines because we like the fruit, and we combine it to form an organization called Arcturine. So since then, we have been organizing fundraising concerts and charity events to raise money for a charity called Archive Global, where they use this money to help developing countries to have hospitals and schools. So far, we've gained around 50,000 Hong Kong dollars. It might not sound like such a big number right now, but we have managed to gather 200 students across Hong Kong international schools to join in for this project. So from here, we can see that youth impact actually has a lot of influence both on society and also achieving sustainability goals. So to end my talk for today, I hope that the main takeaway for you all sitting here is to speak up about your ideas and anything that you're passionate about, because there will always be a like-minded individual or individuals, plural, that will back up your idea and support the same things that you're also passionate and interested about. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. I hope that the TEDx talks have been inspiring for you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eliana. Now we have reached a special group of speakers for today TEDxHKDI. They are Mei Wong and Eric Wong. It's great to have them as our group speakers.
When two of them went through the group project, they had a lot of arguments and found that their personality were very different. But there was chemical reaction and they worked out together more and more smoothly.
I see. People tend to accept people who have similar ideas and personalities. But what they discover is quite interesting.
Let's show our appreciation and give a big round of applause for Mei and Eric.
Hi everyone. Seeing us standing here, what area do you think we are talking today?
Is compromise and companionship. You all have your partner and teammates. So, what's funny seeing us talking about that?
The most interesting part is our combination and also our stories. Have you ever played the jungle game? 在稻草棋啊. There are 8 pieces, different animals with different degrees of powers. The elephant is the most powerful one. It can capture all the animals. The rat is the least powerful one, but it can capture the elephant. What if we have 2 elephants in a group in the same time? I'm Mei Wong.
I'm Eric Wong. We are Year 2 students studying animation and visual effects. We are very happy to share our journey with you, with my partner. Yes, we are partners, but not that kind of partners. We have working together nearly 2 years. We have together produced and collaborated many projects. Whenever there is a group assignment, we'll be in the same group. Our collaboration style is very well matched. Whenever we receive an assignment, we will reach a strong consensus very fast. She will do that part, I will do that part. We will choose the part that we excellent at. So our work can progress very smoothly.
Eric is truly my close partner. We are compatible in both our casual conversation or working style. I remember we had a group project where we have to create effect design lines for presentation. I was more good at task formatting and layout design, and while Eric was more skilled at using software to create the visual effects. So for the entire project, we just finished it in about 2 days. How efficient! Have you found your partners now? We have. We discussed how to complete the assignment. We have numerous debates. We eventually reach a consensus. We stay at school, working on the assignment until late at night, witnessing the scene light gradually go out.
I only remember the security rushing us out of the classroom. We already famous to security guard. We still stay at school till night. It's because we need computer? Of course, we have the same goal. It's to complete the homework and get the highest grade.
So, we look great, right?
So, we make a group process, right? No, that is not.
Do you still remember the question I asked at the beginning? Yes, 2 elephants in the same group will cause a fight. That's our case.
Our collaboration is not smooth every time. We give each other's opinions, we will have fight. Our collaborations, our working style is not really well matched in every time. She will focus on the detail of the character movements, a look and feel of art, and I will focus on the feasibility of technology and the design of the style. I remember one group assignment. We have to redesign a 4 characters. So, here the picture. So, let's have a vote. Which one do you like it? If you like this one picture, please put up your hands.
Mine.
Okay, great, thanks. So, if you like this one, please put up your hands. Thank you. Thank you. So, it's like 50-50. This is a really show the cases among group members. Different people bring different ideas and opinions. So, look at the picture. She completely changed the frog to an octopus. It looks like Disney Ursula. Oh, I'm very surprised that she changed the frog to a squid.
Do you want to see your design? Here it is. Are you doing a Terminator? It's ugly as hell. You just don't understand girl crush style.
I don't know. I just know that our GPA will be crashed. I think we need to redo it. Please, don't make it weird, okay?
You too, man.
This is our way of collaborations. First, complain each other, then solve the problem. I believe 90% of people here have the same experience. We have learned each group member has different working methods, opinions, and ideas. Nothing can be expected.
We have learned poor team performance usually comes from interpersonal conflicts rather than task conflicts. When there's a fight, member tends to put in a lot of personal tension, focusing on what they don't like or what they don't feel comfortable to each other. Many teams need months to deal with this situation. By the time they get to the point where they all agree with, it's often too late to change the direction. When all the conflicts is about personal feelings and emotion, it just makes it so much harder to be open to rethinking things.
A little bit healthy conflict in a team actually be a good thing. It's help the team working together with different opinions. On the flip side, no conflict doesn't mean that everything is sunshine and rainbows. So we need healthy conflict. I remember that our group assignment, we need to design a 3D temples. So we decided I do the outside design, she do the interior design.
I thought that after collaborating a few times, we would understand each other, so we didn't disturb each other during the process and just focus on our own task. But when we shared our works after a few days, I just had 2 responses. Guess what? 1, I turned off the computer. 2, I ran away immediately.
What did I do?
What did you do? You know what? You just cover the entire temple with grass and plants. What I wanted was a normal temple, but now the temple was covered by your grass and plants.
No. I just did the right things. I say outside. I did the right things. So I just make the things cool and interesting.
Gosh, don't play words with me. I hate Cantonese sometimes. With just the same words, every people will get different meanings.
We have learned we need to state clearly what you want to do to each other. Because no one knows that what you think about.
We have learned we have to tell our partners what we want. This is the way to communicate. Communication is the foundation of effective teamwork and innovation.
We have collaborations, many projects. So we started to understand each person's shortcomings. May, she is that night fighter. I'm very afraid her. That night is coming. She's still checking the work. That night is coming. She still at a lot of idea. That night is coming. She still pay attention on the details.
Hasn't he thought about his shortcoming? The bigger one is he lacks creativity. Every time when he receives a homework, he just complete it with basic requirement. Then stop. Where's the creative part?
May, she is very stubborn. What are you doing? Are you still revising the work? Please, listen to me. That night is coming. We'll be late. That mark will be deducted.
Eric's too positive. He just wants to submit the basic work as soon as possible, you know? His attitude was like, whatever lah, submit it first lah, not bad lah. He's just too optimistic every time and think all the work is well done. But that's not the case. If I had not checked the work in detail, we would have failed.
I really want to slap you.
So do I. All right. Should we make a deal?
I think we should. Sorry about that. I will make the things more serious and creative. But you need to hand it the work on me on time. Because I don't want to be deducted the mark.
Okay. Then I will finish the work as soon as possible.
May's flaws always annoy me. But there's something that I can lack and I can learn from her. That's her talents and advantages. Her meticulous attention is because she wants to make the thing more perfect. And her stubbornness is because she has her own convictions and views. And her endless ideas can make the work more creative. To be honest, I'm glad that we can find each other's flaws, because flaws is each other's talents. Do you know Tom and Jerry?
Yes.
Yeah. Tom always pranking Jerry, and Jerry always pranking Tom. Our working style is literally Tom and Jerry. We often have opinions when collaborating homework. And despite the different opinions and spark the unique ideas,
in the group, you can see my personality is Jerry, and Eric's personality is like Tom. We have been able to provide constructive feedbacks on our project and have made decisions collectively in a better way.
The story about Tom and Jerry is remind us there's an possibility to work with each other, supporting each other, and build a lasting connections through the overcoming difficulties. The story between May and I, just the beginning. The new chapter will be unfolded. I believe everyone here had your own Tom and Jerry story. The power of working together is the treasure of the January.
I hope that you have gained something from our stories. It's true that we are different. We have our own thoughts, but we can still work as a team. Finally, everyone sitting here, I want you to give your team members a hug or a handshake, even if they are not your teammates. Show some love, okay?
Show some love, yeah?
And say thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you have not yet complete. And you have ever fought alongside with your teammate. I want you to remember those days and be thankful for the day you spent together.
Let's continue to explore our potential. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
下一位 speaker 係我哋嘅廣告魔法師卓穎同 Tiffany， 佢嘅主題係以廣告連結社區服務。
用廣告連結社區服務，聽起嚟好有趣喎。佢係點樣做到㗎？佢又係點樣將呢兩樣嘢結合埋一齊㗎？
等等先，你幾時變咗問題少女㗎？不如我哋請 Tiffany 上台，等佢直接為我哋解答呢個問題仲好啦。大家一齊嚟聽下啦！有請廣告奇蹟魔法師 Tiffany。
Hi， 大家好，我係 Tiffany。我而家喺 HKDI 讀緊廣告設計。先問下大家覺得廣告設計係讀啲咩？整 IG post？整 poster 定係要拍片呢？我當初未讀廣告設計嘅時候呢，我覺得就應該做呢啲啦。但後尾讀完或者讀耐咗，就發現原來唔係㗎。原來要整 3D 圖，要整 app， 又要整 website， 所以我就發現好似好多嘢都係我哋做咁。所以我就成日同啲同學講：喂，究竟我哋廣告設計讀緊啲咩啊？好似都唔係讀緊啲相關嘅嘢咁。然後老師就會同我哋講句：係啊，廣告設計就係要咩都讀，咩都識。我都喺度諗，咁即係咩叫廣告設計啊？係咪我哋設計嘅嘢有人欣賞就得呢？定係我哋做出嚟嘅設計能夠打動人心呢？喺我預備今日嘅內容嘅時候呢，我就上網喺度揾咩叫廣告。廣告係廣泛向公眾市民傳遞信息嘅一種宣傳手法。唔知大家同唔同意呢番説話呢？就等我分享下我最近做嘅 project 啦。大家可以睇下呢兩張圖片，覺得係啲咩嚟呢？可能大家都唔知，或者真係睇唔出係咩。但其實呢，佢係一個雞扎同豉汁排骨飯。係啦，係睇唔出㗎。但係我會話喺呢份 project 裏邊，我哋就係針對而家有吞咽困難嘅長者，為適性嘅長者設計出佢哋最喜愛嘅茶樓點心軟餐，就係雞扎同豉汁排骨飯。所以顧名思義，佢係軟餐，大家係唔會係喺普通嘅茶樓或者係點心鋪係會見到㗎。我哋希望呢一個project 裏邊咧，長者係透過進食呢個美味嘅軟餐，同時欣賞我哋嘅懷舊包裝裏邊咧， 都係可以回憶翻過去享受美食嘅快樂時光。喺我開始介紹我呢份 project 嘅時候呢，大家都不妨留意下，究竟我喺呢份 project 裏邊接觸咗幾多人，聽咗幾多唔少嘅意見咯。首先呢，喺呢份 project 裏邊呢，就唔係淨係得我傳意學系嘅同學去負責，我哋只係負責到一啲包裝上邊，而我哋會同到柴灣 Ivy 健康及生命科學學系嘅同學仔去合作，佢哋就會設計個軟餐。起初咧，我哋同佢嗰邊咧係完全冇合作過㗎，亦都冇聯絡過。透過老師得到佢哋嘅電話號碼之後咧，我就開始聯絡佢哋啦，就問下佢哋。你個軟餐係點樣製作㗎？你介唔介意講多啲軟餐製作過程啊？亦講下一啲咩儀器？起初佢哋講好多嗰啲機器啊、術語啊，其實我都唔明，我都聽唔明。咁我唯有問多幾句，不如講多啲啊，等我了解多啲。佢哋都好樂意同我分享。除咗佢哋去分享之外咧，我咧亦都會分享下我哋個學科嘅一啲設計嘅部分。因為我哋係一齊做緊一個大 project， 我哋唔係分開去做，所以除咗佢去分享，我亦都分享下我哋設計嘅進度。希望我哋兩邊咧係可以互相配合，不論係喺我哋嘅喺佢嘅食物上邊，定係我哋嘅包裝上邊，都係可以互相配合，係可以多啲溝通去了解對方多啲。所以亦都喺我哋所以咧，我哋咧喺我哋嘅包裝設計上面咧，就分咗3組去完成嘅。我哋係有可以大家嚟見到，左邊嗰個咧就係我同另一位同學去設計嘅包裝，另外2個係另外2組同學去設計。我哋係為咗係想係喺包裝上邊咧採納多啲唔同嘅意見咧，我哋到訪咗嗇色園嘅護老院，以一問一答嘅方式咧，同佢哋去解釋我哋嘅設計同埋去投票嘅。咁所以見到投票結果啦，橙色嗰個咧就係長者嘅貼紙嚟嘅，然後藍色嗰個咧就係照顧者嘅貼紙。可能大家會覺得，喂，好簡單啫嘛，做訪問問一兩句大家都答到啦，好似朋友仔咁。但事實上唔係，係非常之難。等我模擬下當時嘅情況先。婆婆，你覺得邊個包裝好睇啲啊？大家知唔知我頭先講咩呢？係啊，正常人都唔知，因為我攣埋咗一嚿。係啊，我可以話我嗰日去到護老院，好多長者講，我問好大聲問佢問題，問我哋嘅包裝意見嘅時候，長者都會講句，就會講一啲好似講嘢唔係好清晰。甚至可能聽唔到我講乜嘢，或者有鄉下口音，我完全聽唔到佢講咩㗎，就好似頭先嘅情況。但係咧，好彩喺護老院入邊咧，亦都有一班照顧者，佢可以解答翻我哋長者究竟佢係講緊啲乜嘢，然後去話翻俾我哋聽，其實佢原來覺得個包裝幾好睇喎，個顏色啊、個字體等等。喺入邊咧，投票入邊頭先都見到，我唔係淨係問佢個包裝靚唔靚啊，我仲要問佢個品牌名啦、口號啦，仲要問埋成個 design 你覺得如何？係好多嘢問，都係好困難嘅。所以喺呢一度入邊咧，亦都有一個長者咧，最令我印象深刻。嗰個長者咧係睇唔到嘢嘅，咁係比起之前咧，我去問佢哋其他嗰啲講嘢冇咁清晰咧，仲要困難得多。因為我係要成個 design 同佢好仔細去描述，例如去仔細描述個字體啦、顏色、形狀等等好大嘅嘢，我都要同佢講得好清楚。希望透過我去講，佢能夠吸收完之後，幻想到個包裝，然後俾翻啲意見我哋。頭先喺投票結果啦，大家都見得好清楚。其實我投票結果其實唔係好好嘅咋，都冇俾人揀中到，都設計唔揀中。但係我會話，我喺入邊成為咗一個好好嘅聆聽者，去聽每一位長者俾翻嚟嘅意見係點樣。最終咧就喺另外嗰2個包裝上邊咧，就會係結合喺度結合。所以過程入邊，我都要幫另外嗰2組嘅同學俾一啲意見，亦都成日翻到去學校同老師去開會跟進一下大家嘅設計進度。最後我哋嘅設計就誕生咗啦。我哋嘅品牌名為龍鳳茶樓。 採用咗20世紀60年代嘅茶樓風格，捕捉翻嗰陣時懷舊嘅情懷嘅感覺。口號以滋味猶常在，細想當年情，帶翻出侍應生嘅形象，香港侍應生嘅形象。同時喺呢一個 project 入邊咧，我哋亦都會參加 ISS 同 Britain Maker 呢兩個都係一啲國際性嘅比賽同埋活動。喺入邊，我哋會向世界各地唔同嘅人去介紹我哋嘅份 project。喺入邊，我哋可能例如好似新加坡咁樣，咁我就同另一位同學咧就剪輯條影片。條影片入邊咧會講述好多我哋嘅背景資料、我哋嘅創作過程，甚至有啲解決方法。喺入邊成日都聽到好多設計過程，好多老師俾翻嚟嘅意見，會同我哋講：你條片不如改下去啦，個 idea 唔係好好喎。或者會同你講：個字體啊、字幕啊、背景音樂啊，甚至等等唔同嘅嘢同你改，不停改就係不停改，無限改咁多次。係我不停俾我嘅草稿去改啦，但係入邊我亦都聽咗好多好嘅回應，然後先再去改進。最後咧，我同我另外一位同學咧剪輯咗3條唔同嘅1分鐘影片，希望咧到時候可以喺攤檔裏邊咧同唔同嘅人去介紹我哋呢一個產品同呢一個 project。亦喺我哋呢份 project 咧，仲有一個終極大佬。我哋嘅大佬係要同識食園嘅合作單位同埋我哋嘅長者去介紹我哋，展示我哋嘅一切成果，包括頭先所講嘅軟餐啦，同埋我哋嘅包裝設計。我會話入邊嘅過程真係好多人嚟㗎，唔係普通同學老師嚟啊，係嚟甚至連到嘉賓啊、媒體都會嚟到，場面咧就應該幾隆重下㗎。咁淨係齋介紹，好似 present 咁樣好悶啫，係咪？到時候咧個活動，佢哋仲會去試食下個軟餐，亦都會去接觸下、摸下我哋嘅包裝上邊。喺入邊咧，我哋仲會設計多少少嘢，例如設計下一啲台號、嘉賓名牌，甚至可能相片外框，希望佢哋可以多啲接觸我哋呢一樣嘢。喺入邊咧，我會話係真係接觸咗好多唔同嘅人，包括頭先我叫大家去留意下接觸幾多唔同人啦。一開始我去接觸佢同學老師，去到中間我接觸埋識食園長者，亦到去到而家我仲要接觸埋嘉賓同媒體。場面真係好大㗎，亦都可以話我聽咗好多唔少嘅意見。我諗在座每一位坐喺度嘅人都一定會清楚到知道，其實每一個聽嘅嘢都聽好多唔少嘅內容翻嚟。我覺得大家而家不論而家係有讀緊廣告設計，不論大家係有讀緊設計，冇讀緊設計，甚至出嚟返緊工嘅人，我都會話聆聽呢一個好重要嘅部分。所以我覺得大家其實都可以成為一個好好嘅聆聽者，聽多啲身邊唔同人俾翻嚟嘅意見，不論係好嘅嘢定係唔好嘅嘢，聽翻嚟其實對於你自己嘅一啲吸收、一啲內容，你嘅經驗翻嚟都會更加多。希望大家都成為一個好好嘅聆聽者。多謝。
Theseus, do you know the key to happiness?
Money, food, handsome, or studying at HKDI?
Maybe. But I suggest you listening to our next speaker, Locus. He can give you some ways for the answer.
Great! Locus is different from other designers. He designs not only products, but something with special.
Let's give Locus a warm welcome.
Hello, wonderful people. It's such a thrill and an honor to be here with you all today, especially as the last speaker. Now, before we dive into these fascinating topics of designing happiness, I've prepared a question for you. How are you all feeling after all these amazing speeches? Are you buzzing with joy and excitement? Or perhaps a bit tense, overwhelmed, and stressed? Now, hands up if you're feeling happy. Wow, a lot of happy hands. I like the energy. Thank you. Now, hands up if you are feeling a bit stressed and overwhelmed recently. Oh, that's quite a few as well. Well, don't worry. That's why I'm here with you. Well, but hold on. I spike some of you lovely folks who raised your hand twice. Well, I can also relate. That just goes on to show our ups and downs, joys and struggle, yin and yang. Well, I get it. I really get how you feel. Life is a series of ordeal. It's full of decisions, full of challenge. But how do we actively create our own happiness? In life, we all crave for joy, purpose, and a fulfilling journey. But is there a magical formula? So M plus F equal H? Money plus fame equal happiness? Well, if that's what you are after, I'm rooting for you. Is there a one-size-fits-all guy? Well, we all wish it were that simple, isn't it? Loving someone, do something, have something to look forward to. Well, that sounds great, but for many of us, it wasn't so straightforward. Take me for an example. I grew up in a single-parent household. Let's just say my childhood wasn't always sunshine and rainbow. And especially during my primary and early secondary school, I struggled a lot. I was in constant battle with low self-esteem and feeling self-conscious about what am I going to do with my life at school. I wasn't particularly stood out in any subject. My grades were pretty average. And at home, me and my brother always kept a distance. My mom always away. And it was never a comfort zone for me. So how did I cope with it? And this vicious cycle just really impacted my confidence. The fear of failing, judgment, disappointment, these all feelings just hung very heavy for me. So for a period of time, I simply denied who I was. Someday I'll channel I'll create elaborated story of a picture-perfect family. The other, I'll channel my inner Bruce Wayne. Billionaire and playboy by day, superhero by night. Playing another character, it was a fun act for sure. But deep down, it wasn't me. So the true turning point for me is actually when I embraced my true self. And where did that journey begin? Believe it or not, it's actually started with my name. Yeah, Locus, L-O-C-U-S. You heard me right. Not Lucas, not Lulu, Locus. It wasn't a very common name in Hong Kong or anywhere in the world. So I find it only fair for me to ask the person who gave me such a name. And that was my mom. And I would like to show you a video that I asked my mom why she gave me such a name and to help me to defend this name once and for all.
媽，我想問點解你改個英文名做 Locus 啊
？Locus， 我哋嗰個年代叫 Locus 係型啲嘅咩？好少人叫啦，同埋。
咁點解係 Locus 唔係 Lucas 啊？
點解 Locus 唔係 Lucas？ 淨係知道叫做 Locus 啫，我未聽過 Lucas 嘅喎。
Okay, thank you, Mom. So it turned out Mom doesn't know how to pronounce Lucas. Therefore, I am Locus now. Well, that actually makes it better. I love it. And you know what? Here's the thing. All this time, I explaining my name and correcting people with a friendly smile. It turned out to be a little exercise in self-advocacy. So Mom wasn't just giving me a tongue twister. She was giving me a superpower, a power to confidently own who I am, name and all. My name, Locus, Lou Xiuyu, Lu Xiaoyu, in Chinese has a beautiful name, it has a beautiful meaning. And it turned out to be pretty prophetic. And Xiuyu in Chinese means knowing languages. So as a kid, this white fat kid, well, all he think of was languages. I drove into Japanese, French, Spanish, Korean. So since in secondary school, whenever I get an opportunity, I would enroll myself into a school activities that's offered me to learn new languages. I've participated in a Korean conversation group, French club, Spanish house, or even just watching Japanese anime. Now, allow me to demonstrate this for you. Konnichiwa, watashi wa namae wa Locus desu. Hong Kongから来ました. Dojo yoroshiku. Bonjour, je m'appelle Locus. Hello, hola mi amigo. Hola mi amo Locus. 안녕하세요, 저는 Locus입니다. 박흠수입니다. I think. Well, yeah, let's just say mastering all these languages turned out to be a little more challenging than I thought. But this world domination through multi-languages made me wonder, though, why I had such a name, and why wasn't I wielding it in a more focused way? Well, I knew the answer was somewhere out there. So back to the drawing board I went, and where did I find my true self? It was actually at the locus of control. Well, have any one of you heard of this psychology concept named it locus of control? No? Don't worry, most people haven't. Yeah, but this was actually a game changer for me. To explain this in short, it basically means when you picture you are preparing for a big presentation, do you tend to rely at the mercy of luck? Or do you focus on the effort? The late night practicing, the clear and concise slide that you created. Well, that, my friend, is your internal locus of control. The believing you control your destiny through your actions. Well, discovering this concept was a game changer for me. And it's actually linked to happiness and success because it makes us set goals, take actions, and bounce back from setbacks. And how do we feel more in control? That's actually simple. Celebrate your win. The more you see your own power, the more empowered you will feel. Well, for example, I've always wanted to attend design school, but self-doubt just held me back. I would constantly tell myself, I cannot do this. I don't know how to draw. I was never particularly good at any subject. This will never happen. But you know what? At the thick of a time of my life, I give myself a break. I try to flip the script. Instead of telling myself, this is impossible, I ask myself, how can I make this happen? Well, then I begin to look for scholarship. I work flexibly. I slowly, little by little, gradually, I came up with a solid plan. And this was actually mind-blowing for me. That's why I want you to imagine this. Imagine you are trying to strive for success, but you feel like you fail. This could be anything. Finishing your final project, or just hitting the gym. Can you rewrite that story in your mind? Now, if you approach this with a stronger internal locus of control, how does that change your perspective? Well, the key, my friend, is awareness. Where do we tend to land on this spectrum? One quote that resonated with me deeply recently is, you cannot control the wind, but you can adjust your sail. It is not about what happens to you. It's about how you react. So happiness is always a complex topic, isn't it? And it's rather an emotional response to an outcome. So it is something like, if I win, I'll be happy. If I don't, I won't. It's a if or then, cause and effect progress. But don't you worry, though. That actually brings us to joy. Joy is a different thing, isn't it? Joy is the feeling from what we're doing, what we're passionate about. no matter the outcome. And joy, we cultivate joy through actions, and these actions spark moments of gratitude. And as we appreciate the little victory, challenge overcome, psychologists tell us happiness is fleeting. It is a temporary high from external achievement. So instead of designing happiness, I say let's design joy. Well, now you must be asking, how do we practically apply this to our life? Well, I have prepared 3 tips for you. First, it is okay to aim for okay at first. Progress over perfection. Second, focus the moment. Enjoy the doing, and let that be your reward. Third, practice gratitude. This will create a positive cycle within your mind. And as we continuously doing this practice, you will feel you're more connected to your inner soul. Now, have any one of you ever noticed the pure joy of a baby radiate? No? Take my nephews, for example. My nephew's Oli, he hasn't learned about self-doubt, or he isn't limited by the external expectation. This innate trust of his own potential is what I call it unfiltered self-worth. For Oli, joys come naturally. He adored himself. He absolutely loved himself, and he expressed himself freely. He knows how wonderful he is. Oh, my point is, just because somewhere along the line we lost sense of this feeling, or someone tell you cannot do it, or you tell yourself you cannot do it, well, this week, right now, this moment, let's reclaim it. And for the following weeks, every morning, I would like you to approach your mirror and just look at your reflection and say, I love you. What can I do to make you feel joy today? Well, you may not get an answer from your reflections, but that's okay. Self-love isn't linear. Well, you might find it difficult for you to do at first, but that's also okay. Even if it is, acknowledge that. Embrace your inner critic. And if you are consistent enough, you will find yourself more at peace. Now, I would like to practice my gratitude. I would like to honor every one of you who has contributed to this wonderful TEDx event. And I hope you all feel empowered after all the amazing speech. And I would like to also shout out to my family, my friends, and also my teachers, including Ria, Ken, Casper, Sarah, Bill, Niall, Damon, and many, many others as well. Now, remember, true happiness isn't found in external validation. It is not about the perfect dress. It is not about the most liked on social media. It is not about your dream job. The true happiness is only found on focusing on the journey, the growth, the doing, and the overflowing gratitude of who we already are. And that's how we design joy from the inside out. Thank you. This is Locus.
好感謝咁多位嘅 speaker 同我哋分享咗咁多有啟發性嘅演講啊！舉辦 TEDxHKDI 一個咁大型嘅活動，真係一啲都唔容易啊！好彩我哋有一班充滿熱誠嘅台前幕後人員、老師同同學。喺接近活動完結之前，我哋衷心邀請各位 TEDxHKDI 嘅工作人員，同埋我哋一班非常之努力、用心準備咗好耐嘅 speaker。一齊嚟到台前呢一度大合照。現在有請所有嘅 speaker 同工作人員到舞台上，排名不分先後，鳴謝以下各單位，包括 現場所有來賓、網上觀眾、院長室、語文中心、學習資源中心、學生發展處、學院外事處、學院秘書處、傳意設計學系、數碼媒體學系、建築室內及產品設計學系、時裝及形象設計學系、工程系、資訊科技學系。As we bring TEDxHKDI to a close, please join me in showing our sincere appreciations to the following units. All the audience, including the online audience, Principal's Office, Language Center, Learning Resources Center, Student Development Office, External Affairs Office, Campus Secretariat, Department of Communication Design, Department of Digital Media, Department of Architecture, Interior and Product Design, Department of Fashion and Image Design, Department of Engineering, Department of Information Technology. Let's give everyone a big round of applause.
好，大家準備好未呢？就等我哋一齊再紀念 TEDx 同 HKDI 嘅特別時刻。
Thank you all for joining us in this remarkable event, TEDxHKDI. We hope that you all enjoyed these inspiring talks and the special moments we shared together.
We are grateful for all speakers who generously shared their ideas and experience to our audience.
Let these talks inspire you to make a positive impact in your own life and in the world around.
As we come to the end of today's event, let's remember the theme of today: design, community, well-being, and carry the spirit of TEDxHKDI with us, embracing curiosity, open-mindedness, and willingness to explore new possibilities.
Thank you everyone and online audience once again for being a part of this extraordinary event. We hope to see you